Oh, lovely. A nice American voice telling me recording in progress. That's what we like to hear. So nobody from overseas today. That's not good, is it? Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so our new tag update. So why they've decided to call it GA4, whereas before we had Google Analytics Universal, and I can't remember what the other two versions were called, but they were, all of a sudden we've gone for this abbreviation. I know it is version 4, but why we've suddenly decided to call it GA4, I don't know. That's Google for you. So we'll have a quick look at what it does, what you need to do, and what it means for you as your analytics, what it can do for you for analytics purposes. How can you use it to improve your website and essentially your business? Okay, everybody's happy with that. So as usual, I've got a couple of slides and I'll run through them quite quickly. They will be a PDF which you can have later on off the website, and then we'll go live and take questions. Okay. So basically, what does it do? Okay, so Universal Analytics is what they call the session-based model, i.e. a session in analytics is from when somebody hits your website to either when they leave, or as it is set by default, after 30 minutes of inactivity, the session is timed out. Okay, so if somebody lands on your website and then goes and has their dinner, after 30 minutes, that session will be ended by analytics because there's no activity. Okay, and this one is going to be an event-based thing. So essentially, you can have events in analytics now, but you don't get them out of the box, if that makes sense. You actually have to go and do extra bits to have events in it. Okay. It's also giving us, it's going to allow us to track button clicks by default. Okay, and page scroll depth. So how far does somebody scroll down a page? Okay, now straight away from a website point of view, those are really useful pieces of information for you to glean. Okay, and as I say, you don't have to do anything, so it will do that out of the box. Okay, it also gives us the added benefit if we run a website with an app, we can track people across them. Okay, again, out of the box, it will be able to do that, which you can't do with analytics at the moment. But sorry, you can do it, but it doesn't work just by setting it onto your website. You have to go and do extra bits and pieces to it. Okay, so what do you need to do? Well, first off, if you've got analytics on now, okay, don't panic. Okay, you don't need to do anything. Universal Analytics is not going away in the immediate future. Google may retire it later on, but there's no talk of it at the moment. Okay, so if you've got analytics at the moment and it's set up and you're monitoring all the information you need to get right this minute, you don't need to do anything. Okay. Ruben, you probably are, especially if you've got Tag Manager involved. I should imagine that you're at least monitoring page scroll depth and some clicks on some buttons somewhere. I should imagine that's as part of your measurement plan at least. So right now you don't need to do anything, but you can run both of them. Okay, so analytics is going to allow you to run both side by side. So if you haven't got any event tracking, it may be worth setting it up. Okay, so it might be worth going to GA4 just so that you can start collecting that information. For the time being, you don't need to start sort of getting it heavily into a measurement plan. You can, once you start collecting the information, you've got it, you can go back and study it at any point and then say, okay, what decisions can I make from this? Okay. So that's always something to bear in mind. You can never have too much information. So getting through it could be the problem to get the information that you want, but until you've got it, that is not a headache that you're going to have. Okay. So you can go into your analytics account now and set up another property as using GA4. Okay. Unfortunately, those of you that are running things like Monster Insights or Google Analytics, I can't remember what the other one's called, the other one that I just saw recently. So any of the plugins that presently, bar one, won't work at present with GA4. Okay. However, I've put there, it means you need to place the code into the head section of the website. And you should do that with analytics anyway. The plugins normally allow you to do that. And the advantage of things like Monster Insights is it gives you a dashboard within your WordPress dashboard, so you can go and monitor your analytics without actually logging into your analytics account. So all you have to do is log into your WordPress. Okay, that is useful stuff on its own. So soon as Monster Insights roll this out, it's going to be of a benefit to us. Okay. But if you want to put it in, you need to put it into the head section of the website. Not a problem. There's a plugin that will do it for you. Okay, there's a plugin called Insert Headers and Footers. Just do a search in Add New Plugins. You can go and add it in. And then you just access it from your settings section in your WordPress dashboard. You can see there it comes up, says Insert Headers and Footers. And you just take the code that Google gives you and drop it straight in there where it says scripts in header and save it. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Rubens, do you run any advertising or anything like that, Google Ads?
No Google Ads currently, no.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
No, I don't run any Google Ads currently, no.
Oh, okay. All right. The reason why I've asked that is because GA4 integrates better with Google Ads as well. So if you're running Google Ads, it may be worth going over to that straight away. That's just popped into my head and I thought I'd mention it while it was there. The other alternative is you can search for a different plugin called SiteKit by Google Analytics. SiteKit by Google Analytics. It's by Google themselves, okay? We've had a few issues with this in the past, so we stopped using it, but I'm willing to go and have another look. And this gives you the advantage of easy integration with your Google Search Console, as well as your analytics and various other services that Google offer. We'll have a look at it in a bit. So that's, then it just gives you straight into your, underneath the dashboard. It wants to go first, underneath the WordPress dashboard. And you can just go in there and access it. And straight away, it just says sign in with Google. Make sure you're into, if you're using your browser, you're signed into the Google account that you have your analytics in. Yeah, because as soon as you say sign in, you'll be away. So that's quite important on that one. So what will it mean for your analytics, your website, and your business? Well, as I said, we can already, it means straight out of the box, you can start tracking events. And a lot of people are not tracking events now. Okay. So you can start doing that. I'm going to put up on the Academy, I've got a planning sheet for people to plan their tag plan, their measurement plan. So you can start having a thought about what you want to do and what you want to achieve from that point of view. Where did I get to? So yeah, I'm going to start implementing this on our websites this week. And I'm going to run them side by side, as they say you can. So I'll let you guys know how it's going at some point. It means you can improve your visitor's journey. And what I mean by that, so we already use Tag Manager to measure things like scroll depth. So I'll give you an example. If you've got a page with, let's just say, about a minute to read, okay? So if it's about a minute to read, you have to scroll down the screen to get to information, okay? And if you've now put a call to action at the bottom of that page, so here's a bunch of information for my visitors, call to action at the bottom of the page, what are they going to do next, okay? By looking at scroll depth, you can actually measure how far down your visitors are scrolling. So you can set the percentages yourself in Tag Manager, and we'll have a look and see if we can do that in this. So say 80% of your visitors are only getting 50% of the way down your page. If your analytics tells you things like that, you can say, okay, let's go and copy my call to action and move it up the page. So we've got a first call to action at 50% and a second one down the page. Okay, so it's a great way for you to improve your visitor's journey like that. It also means you can test things like not only your scroll depth and moving your call to actions, but you can change your call to actions and you can test them side by side on the same page. Yeah, so call me now or contact us, for example. One links to a phone, one links to an email. Which one gets used the most? Yeah. So like I say, you can use that, the data that it provides you, you can use it to improve your visitor's journey. And obviously, if you can get more clicks from your visitors, you're going to make more sales, whatever sales are to you. And I'm not talking necessarily that you're going to have people giving you money for products then and there, but whatever sales are to you for your website. So does that make sense? Yeah, good. So I think that's it on the slides. Yeah, so just telling you how you can go and join the WordPress Academy if you're not already a member, but I guess you guys already are. So we'll abandon the slides. So first off, has anybody got any questions on that? I'll just stop that so I can get it out of the way. So what I quickly just ran through there, has anybody got any questions on any of it? Silence. Oh, stunned silence. Brilliant.
Do you think Monster Insights are going to roll out compatibility for this?
Yeah, I think they will, Julie. I think they will all catch up at some point.
Right.
Oh, just a second, please. I could hear knocking at the door, and I thought any minute now it's going to be so loud in here, it'll be unbelievable. Yeah, I think they're going to. Whether they're going to roll out a separate plugin, I don't know. You obviously enjoy the benefits of the reporting into your WordPress dashboard. Mm. Yeah, I thought perhaps you did. So yeah, I think that they will, without a doubt, because I envisage in several years' time, Google is going to take the other one away. Universal Analytics will be gone, and we'll be just left with GA4, as they're calling it. So I think everybody will be on there, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. If that's the questions for now, this is going to be a pretty quick session then. If nobody's got any questions, yeah. Let me just share my screen again.
Okay. Can I ask you while you're doing that?
Yeah, of course.
Question. So GA4, is it something that I should be looking into? Do you think fairly soon, or go with the other? Because I've got Monster Insights as well, but I don't use it so much. So it's something that I could easily move over to without much.
Yeah, I said I'm going to start rolling it out to our websites this week. Because although we use Tag Manager, I envisage that even Tag Manager is going to change as well to keep up with this, so to speak. So I want to sort of try and get ourselves to a point where we're at least level, if not ahead of the game for when they do.
Yeah. And that's what you're thinking of, having an extra session on this, because that would be great if we.
Yeah, but also a lot of people have got Google Analytics and they're not entirely sure either where to look at the information or what to do with it. How to utilize it to their best benefit, I suppose. So I think it'd be a good idea if we maybe have a little session around that as a bonus session, perhaps.
Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, definitely a way to go. So sign in with Google. This is SiteKit. As I said, I don't know why they want to be at the top there. Oh, EngageBay is even worse looking at that. So I haven't set this one up. I just thought I'd try it and see how it works. Because like I said, we had problems with SiteKit before, so we've taken it off. But I thought, let's give it a go. I am logged into my Google account, so I'm going to sign in with it. And just see how easy it is to follow through. And that's why we had problems with it before. So from our point of view, we're going to have to either go and start finding out we've got a conflict somewhere. Yeah, so we either have to go and start finding where that conflict is, or I'll probably just put it into the header. Because by the time I've tried to roll it out to 6 websites, if each one of them is going to cause a conflict, I'm just going to go and insert it as it is. Have I got that plugin on here? No. Okay, so let's go to our analytics. And essentially what you're looking to do now to set this up is come into your admins. There's a GA4 setup assistant. I missed that one. So perhaps it was useful that there was a glitch there. Yeah, so even simpler. Yes, I want to set up a new thing here. Do you want it to do this? Enable data collection using your existing tags. I'm going to say no. Don't tick that, because when reading through it, especially for us on this website, we've got quite a lot of tags on here already, and I don't want it disrupting anything we're doing. So I'm just going to say no, do it from there. Okay, that was pretty easy to do. I'm rather surprised by that. So what have we got to do next? Hold on a second, folks. I've lost my pace. Right, we seem to have missed a step out from what I was looking at earlier. So apologies for that. Let's go and have a look at it. Okay. So the next thing that we need to start looking at is our tag installation. Okay, and now we can add a stream, and we want it to be a web in this instance. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to start adding in our website details. So as you can see straight away, it's going to say, this is what I'm going to measure. Page views, scrolls, and outbound clicks. Okay, and I can add 3 more: site search, video engagement, and file downloads. So that's what it'll allow you to do just out of the box. So page views you could get with just standard Google Analytics. Scrolls you couldn't. Site search, you would have to add a bit in to get that as well. Outbound clicks, file downloads, and video engagement, no. So I can either now add this onto the page. So there's my code. So we were talking about inserting it into the headers and footers. So I just happen to have, no, I don't. Let me just get a page that we can look at for that. Well, you saw on the PDF where I showed you where to put the code. Literally, you would just go and put it in there and save it as that. If you're already running Tag Manager, you can start looking at how to get that in there from here. But as I say, I'm going to go and do it for all of our websites over the next week. I think it's going to be really useful for us to have. What I will go through, like I said, later with you guys is, okay, well, let's look at it now. So we were talking earlier about goals. And goals is Google Analytics speak, really, for what's the plan, okay? So we have a business plan and we're going to do X amount of this to achieve something, okay? So your goal in Google Analytics is something's going to happen which will have a value attached to it, okay? So the easy one is e-commerce. If you're selling stuff off your website, an easy goal is that somebody's going to buy something. Yeah, that's a fairly obvious one. But it could be that your goal is that you want people to fill in your email forms, your contact us form. That is your goal, okay? So your every time somebody completes that goal, you can assign a value to it. Okay, let's see if I've got any goals on here. That'll make life a bit simpler. Okay, so here, for example, we've got our goal is that people are going to contact us. Okay, so they're going to go to the contact us page, they're going to fill in the form, and we're going to get it. Okay. I won't go into the details on that one. In fact, let me go and see if I can switch out to where's the demo account? Yeah, let's go into the demo account. Okay, so this is actually in a demo account that Google have given us. And this one's set up for GA4. I thought I'd clicked on the other one. Okay, Universal Analytics, because I'm guessing everybody at the moment is actually using Universal Analytics. So let's go back to that one. Okay, so, I mean, you can see straight away that we're getting quite a bit of information in here. So how many users have we had on the website? What revenue has it generated? Okay, it's called the Google Merchandise Store. That's the demo account. So you sort of get the impression right off from that it is an e-commerce thing. Well, it's all dummy data, but you know what I'm saying. That it is from an e-commerce site. So that's why you're getting the revenue straight away. Okay, we'll see if they've got any goals in here. Yeah, and they have. So you can see they've got 4,002 goal conversions. Conversion ratios, so that's how many people have completed the goals compared to the people that have come onto the website. How many people have abandoned it? Yeah, so like I say, plan for your website. So what's happened here? People have completed orders, people have filled in information, people have registered, people have put stuff in a basket. So that's given you an idea of what their goals are. And straight away, you can start looking through, if you've set it up, you can visualize how people have worked through your goal. So if your goal is, let's just say we wanted to measure the contact us, people that contact us, that's what we wanted to measure. So the easiest way to do that for you guys out the box is to send people that fill in your contact us form to a thank you page. Okay, so most contact us forms by default will put a little message up on the screen that says thank you for contacting us. Okay, so I would suggest what you do is you change that and you send them to a page. Okay, so that's what the action is going to be when they complete the form. So it also gives you a chance to say things to them like, what's your timescale for replying? Okay, bearing in mind you're a business, you have business hours. Okay, so what's your timescale for replying? So thank you for contacting us. We try to reply to all email contacts within 2 working days, for example. Yeah, if your inquiry is more urgent, call this number. Yeah, so if they want to get in touch with you quicker, give them an alternative. Yeah, straight away give them an alternative. So that's your goal, is to get the people to the thank you page. Okay, so we can measure that as a page, but taking a step back, how do we visualize them getting there? So they land on our website. How do we get them to the contact us? Okay, because we can create the steps in our goal. So this is what this is here. They've got a visualization. In this instance, that's not a good one because it is an e-commerce one, but that is what we're talking about. How many people go into step 1 of your goal? And in this instance, the red leave, so they don't go any further. Okay, so once you've got that visualization built up, you can go and look at where your goal is, funnel is falling down. Am I making sense to everybody? Yeah. So it gives you a simple visualization process in here, provided you put the steps in when you create the goal. I want people to go from here. So I expect them to land on my home page. I expect them to go to the About Us page and then the Contact Us page. And then the ultimate, the last step is the thank you page, for example. Yeah. So how many people complete the goal? How many people drop out? The people that drop out, where do they drop out? If they all drop out on the home page, what aren't we telling them? Okay, we could go and look at our home page and say, why don't they go to the About Us page? And is it simply because we don't tell them to? Yeah, I mean, you know, it might be that you want them to go to a service page. I'm just giving you for examples. Okay, so you can go and have a look. In this instance, you know, that's quite a dropout rate at the cart. People aren't paying. So in that instance, why aren't they? Yeah, so you would have to go and have a look at your cart page and say, is my checkout process too complicated? What can I do to streamline this and get more people to click? Should I change the color of the buttons? Would that work? Well, we could actually do it and try it. Yeah, because that's what our analytics is there for. So if I've got a red button that says pay now, maybe I'll go and change it to green. Give it a month, then look at the data. Are more people now clicking? Is this number come down substantially because I've changed that? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's our goal, or goals as Google calls them. And like I said, I'll put in there the planning sheet for you. I'll put it into the Academy if it's not there already. I can't remember if it is. So you can work through your goals. What are going to be your steps? So another goal could be that you want people to click to call. Yeah, so have you got a click to call? You've got a phone number displayed obviously on your website that people can click on it and it will ring the phone. Yeah. So before you go and start investing time and whatever into doing that, go and have a look on your in your data and see where your people are coming from. Yeah, so let's have a look. Mobile, go into your audience, go to mobile overview. How many people are using a mobile? Yeah, is it worth actually doing that? Okay, so we've got what, a third of our traffic is on a mobile on this instance. So yeah, that's definitely worth making sure that the people that are using that technology can contact us via the phone. Sorry, let's wind that back a step first. Can your business take phone calls first? Obviously, don't give people a way of contacting you if you can't deal with that. So if it's if you've got a job and it's a side business, but that side business is going to run during the day, maybe you can't have phone calls. Okay, maybe you could only use emails for the time being. Yeah, so don't think, oh yeah, look, I've got loads of people on mobile, I've got to do that, because you could be inundated with phone calls. So can you deal with that if you set it in motion? Yeah. So yeah, that could be another one that you could use. If Ruben, especially for you, if people can click you and say, can I have 3 of them, please? Have you got them? Yeah, great. Have a click to call. If you employ staff though, and that phone call is going to go to staff, what are they going to say? So make sure your process is complete. Yeah. Otherwise, you may find that you're going to start losing sales overall because you've put this process in place, but you haven't thought it through to the end. Okay, so somebody's going to do something, they're going to click to call, you're going to answer the phone. The chances are, if people want to talk to you, the chances are you're going to get something going if you've got the right people talking. Yeah. Just as likely as they are to press buy now on the website. So, Julie, you take bookings, do you, through yours?
I've tried to, yes. I need to set it up a bit more succinctly than what it currently is, but it would be nice to do so.
So
I was looking at it
you...
the other day, I was getting totally confused again, but there we go.
But could you take bookings over the phone? Or is it more beneficial for you to have a booking system where they say, oh, I could have that one or that one, and then they pick themselves?
It's probably better done with a calendar system, albeit it seems confusing to set it up, rather than the phone call. Because if I'm not at my desk, if I'm on site, then, you know, I may not have all the information to hand.
Okay, so yeah, prime example. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I was just thinking it through and thinking, well, if I'm on site with a client, then I don't answer my phone. So there's not really, and I can't divert it to anywhere else because I don't have a call handling company.
Okay. So I would suggest you possibly don't need a click to call, but more importantly, you possibly need to put something on your contact us page. I'm assuming you've got your phone number there.
Yeah.
That tells people you may not be able to answer the phone immediately. Okay, so you set their expectations before they go to make the phone call. Yeah, so ring me if you need to, but I may be on site, in which case, please leave a message. Yeah.
Lovely, thank you. That's a good reminder.
Okay. Yeah, so the technology. What's the technology in our way and that is of benefit to us? Yeah. What can we do? So prime example, selling e-commerce, selling stuff through e-commerce. Ruben, do you use WooCommerce? No, gone away. Okay. So if you use e-commerce and you're selling stuff, hopefully you've set your stock levels. So, but if you run out of stock, do you lose a customer, or do you have a message that says if it's not in stock, contact us? And if they're going to contact us, how are you going to do it? Yeah, back to the phone. Or now, I would suggest if you're selling stock and you want people to contact you because it's out of stock, yeah, so you're selling a physical product, that you don't send them to the contact us page. You have another way for them to contact you. Okay, separate page. because you need to know different information. Okay, so they're not going to fill out a subject field that says, I was trying to buy 3 of the green tops, size whatever. No. What would it have a thing set up that they can just go click, I want one of that. That's what I was trying to get. That's what I was trying to get now. You can probably integrate your WooCommerce to do that for you, but think about it from that point of view. Yeah, if somebody's trying to buy something, they're already frustrated because you haven't got it. Make the journey easier for them. Yeah, so you don't want to send them to your normal contact us page, which is just for general people want to ask you something. Make it specific if you can. Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, if you think about how you use the internet and start from that perspective, how easily you get annoyed with things that don't work the way you would expect them to. Now, that doesn't mean that you're right, but if you think of it from that point of view, how can you make this journey as easy as possible for your visitors? Okay, because you don't want them to go away feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled, however you want to describe it. You want to keep the contact going. Yeah. So if it's not obvious, you'll lose them. So going back from that and how we're planning our goals, if you come into your analytics and go up to this nice, great big search box at the top here. I'm trying to find our exit. Hold on a minute. Oops, wrong one. Let me get back here. Let's start with landing pages. Okay, so which pages do people land on your site from or land on your site? So this is the first point of contact, okay? So start with that. Yeah. And then these pages, things like your home page and whatever that have got probably going to, for most of us, going to have the biggest numbers. What do we tell them to do on the home page? Okay, where are we telling them to go? Bearing in mind, we just talked about our goals. That's where they're landing. Okay. Oh, we've got a great percentage of people landing here. Go and have a look at that page. If they land on that page, what do you tell them to do there? Are you feeding them back into that funnel? Yeah, is there an obvious signpost that says, go there, next step? Okay, so we've thought about it from our perspective because we're the ones that own the website. Wouldn't it be great if they go home, about us, contact us, thank you? People don't work like that. And I'm sure we've all seen the instances where the council have put lovely paths across a green piece of grass, and you'll see all the footprints where people take the shortcuts. Okay, so just because we think they're going to go over to there, up that way, and then across there, people are just going to go that way. So you have to cater for both of them. Yeah, so this is a good way of looking at it. How are people landing on the website? Okay. Another good one is going to have a look at your users flow, which is in the audience as well. Okay, because now if you look at this by default, this is going to come up with the first column being starting pages, sorry, country first. Okay, so that's for most of us it's going to be UK, but have a look at that. So starting pages. So this is the landing pages. Okay, now they're called starting pages. That's where they start the journey. So we've got people dropping off here. That's what this red means. Okay. So where have they gone? Oops, didn't mean to click that one. Hold on. So if you can go down into individual ones. So these people have left what's that, 33% dropped off of the total traffic. So of the 8.1K that landed on that page, 4.8, that's over 50% have dropped off. Does that mean that our page doesn't tell them what to do next? Very good indication. Okay, so let's just say our plan was that they then went to the sign-in. So that's the goal that we've created. Well, what are these people doing down here? If you look at let's highlight traffic through here. So that's just a left mouse click on the block and then say whatever you want it to say. So of the 3 point whatever it is that's left, this is how they carried on their journey. Okay, to these blocks here. In our plan, they were all going here, but they're not. So the ones that went here, for example, how do we get them to come back onto our plan? Because that's our plan along the top there. I'm giving you a for instance, it's not necessarily, but you get the idea. So these that went here, they don't come back up here. So go and have a look at that page and say, let's signpost them back up to here. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, Mark. Thank you. Can I ask? I suppose I've got several routes that I would want people to. Sorry, let me look at you. I've got several routes that I would want people to take. So they'd come into the homepage. They would then go in. I've got 3 options that they can take on the homepage that will take them to 3 different service pages.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they're across the top menu as well. So each of those, I suppose then another name for it would be a funnel that
yep.
I can then track them through. And each of those service pages has its own call to action, whether that be the ultimate
Sure. Yep.
buying something, booking a session with me, or contacting me, or downloading the freebie or whatever. So that would be setting up 3 different goals within analytics.
Yeah, so it may be that your goals are, if you've got 3 service A, B, and C, that goal 1 is people that get to the thank you page for service A. Goal 2 is that they get to the thank you page for service B, etc. So you could have separate contact pages. So if you want on your service A, at the bottom of the page, contact me about this service. And that goes to a thank you page. And then on service B at the bottom, contact me about this service. And that goes to a different thank you page.
I've got you. So then you're starting to collect individual data.
Exactly.
Yeah. Global data. Yeah.
Yeah. So if your goal is just to get people to contact you, not a problem. 1 contact us form, 1 thank you page. Yeah. But if you want it to start doing more in-depth things, as you said, I've got these 3 things that I want to sell to them and I want to know who's buying which one, then that's the way I would go about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Without getting into things like having contact us forms with the intelligence to send people to different pages depending on which selections they've made on the contact us form, etc. So for you guys just to do it yourselves, that's the way I would do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. My next question may be the dummy question, but there are never any dummy questions.
No, definitely not.
How do I actually set up a goal? So I'm like, having not used this before at this end.
Okay.
Area.
So you've made your plan. You need
I've made my plan on paper that I know I want to take them. Yeah.
You need. I'm going to have to get out of here because it's only a test thing, so it won't let me do anything. Oops, come on. Picked the wrong one. Picked a bad one there.
Sorry, this is not the session you were going to deliver today, was it?
No, it wasn't, but never mind. We're here now, so let's crack on. Okay. So, assuming that you're in your right property, okay, so don't forget the way it works is and it's quite bizarre that you've got your account property and then your view. Yeah, so those of you that are using Universal Analytics, if you go into your thing up here, your property, and you've only got one view, first thing I suggest you do is come to your view settings and copy it. Okay, so you should always have the one that they give you by default is just raw data. Okay, you don't use it for anything. You don't filter anything out of it or anything like that. You always create at least one other view to do anything on. Okay, so essentially the view that they give you is a bucket, and you turn on the hose and you put it in the bucket and you start filling the bucket. Okay, now if you just said for the moment I don't want to see traffic from India, I'm going to filter that out because they're never going to be my customers. Okay, and when you put that filter in place, essentially what you do is divert some of the water out of the hose from the bucket. Okay, so that's the water from India is going on the garden, it's not going in the bucket. Now while that filter is in place, that will continue to go onto the garden. If you turn the filter off, it will start going back into the bucket. But for the period that that filter was on, you have lost that information. Okay, so that's why keep the first view that they give you by default. Don't touch it, because that's always your raw data. That's all the information is there. Okay, so just copy the view, give it a new name. Yeah, and then you can start setting goals and things on there. Does that make sense?
I think so. I will go and have a look. Sorry, I'm squizzing at my other screen.
Okay, so yeah. In there, there's your thing to create goals. Yeah, big red button, new goal.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're giving you some bits and pieces in here. Yeah, so you can work your way through that. So we'll create it yourself. So in this instance, I picked custom and I'm going to call it, okay, let's just call it product A. Yeah, and it's going to be a destination because I'm sending them to a thank you page. And the destination is equal to whatever you've called your page. Yeah, so in this instance, I'm going to say thank you, product A. That's what my page is called. Now that doesn't have to be. Yeah. Are you going to assign a value to it? Okay, so this is down to you. So if you know, let's just say that of every 10 people that email you about your product, 2 of them buy, then I would say, yes, let's assign a value. And if your product's 500 quid, then that's what the value of the goal is. Yeah. And then you can turn on a funnel. And this is where we say, yeah, we want them to go to the home page, to the About Us page, to the Contact Us page, and then to the thank you page. Yeah. So can't remember if we have to put it in here, to be honest. So let me just check. So long since I set up any goals. So then we want to contact us. Don't forget, you need to check what your pages are called. Yeah, so you may need to have your website open in another tab and go to the pages individually and check. Yeah. it's quite cool actually, because they give you this thing that says verify this goal. So what they do is they look at what's happened over the last 7 days and say, would anybody have actually done this? Yeah, more often than not, you're going to get a bit of. Hold on, I've got to put something in there because I selected value, didn't put anything in. Okay, so this is saying I would have got 0 conversions based on the data that we've got for the last 7 days. It was hardly surprising because I just made things up. But it may be worthwhile you doing that, yeah. Just as, oh, that'd be interesting. Just go and have a look, and then you can save it. I'm just going to delete this now.
Great, thank you, Mark.
Yeah. So yeah, set your goals. So don't forget, like so many things, it's going to take a while to collect any data. So it could take 2 days to get any data anyway. But if you bear in mind how many times people email you off your website now, yeah, although you haven't been measuring this, you're going to have to leave some time before you get something that actually makes it worthwhile looking at. Yeah.
What does this do with the spam people that email me from my website and are using my contact form, and even though it's got an encryption thingy on it, 2 + 5 =, and they still manage to get through? Is there anything in relation to Google Analytics? Because I know there's a twofold question in there in a sense, but
off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. I would certainly change your reCAPTCHA. So you use the Google one, for instance. And I think I'll let me see. I've got a couple of plugins that will also do it as well. So you can add it in. But yeah, the one where it's a little 3 letters and 4 numbers or whatever with a bit of a squiggle over the top, not that brilliant. Just as a for instance.
So I really need how many tractors are there in the pictures?
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. Do you recognize a bicycle? That's the ones to use. Okay, so that's how you set up a goal. Hopefully that made sense to you all. Has anybody got any questions over what we've just covered today? Because we're on the number, as the saying goes.
No, thank you.
No, not from me. I've really enjoyed today. Learned a lot. Thank you.
Excellent. That's what we'd like to hear.